Hello and welcome to another special operation in Heroes of Might and Magic 3. This time I'm going to try to demilitarize a quite famous player in Duel, tim101, also known as marjoram. He has two accounts and he is very active in this template, in this Duel gameplay. I have played a lot of games against him and I'm not afraid to say that he's a little bit better than me. He has won most of the games, but this game is interesting enough that I'm going to show you. We are in the Heroes lobby and we are betting against each other because the voted or rolled factions are Tower and Conflux. Tower is quite a bit better than Conflux, but I think the 3000 is enough. We are getting a little bit too far, 3200. Usually nowadays in this role the player who gets the Conflux and gets a little bit of gold plays Moner and Magic Elementals. It's especially useful against Solmir because Solmir obviously has a chain lightning, so Magic Elementals are immune. So it adds quite a good dynamic to the final battle. But Tower is a faction that don't need to rush at all times. Tower is very good in rushing because of Solmir. Obviously, you don't need the Book of Air, you just have your chain and it's a stronger chain. And golems. When you face your enemy and you both use your chains, then obviously golems absorb 75% of damage, so they basically cannot die to spells. So your opponent has to have enough army to kill them in hand-to-hand combat while he's getting destroyed by your chain. So Solmir is very good to rush your opponent or to do some timing push when you want to push the middle and hold it. Playing Conflux against Tower, it would be not wise to play Elementalist hero, that's the caster hero like Labeta or Ion. Because when you two meet, then obviously you have too big of advantage by those golems. So it's better to use melee hero. As I was saying, most of the players would choose Moner, but my opponent have chosen Fior, and that's a really interesting choice. I haven't seen it many times, but he's a good hero because he starts with advanced offense. And actually his specialty to fire elementals is really useful. Excuse me. And the specialty doesn't give just few attack and defend points, but it actually hires the damage, the overall damage caused by fire elementals. Fire elementals and energy elementals have only 4 to 6, but in Fior they have +2, which means 6 to 8. And usually you can get like 80, sometimes even 100 energy elementals in your biome, and that's a pretty powerful power stack. It's really nice. But back to this game, we didn't use any of the restarts, I believe, and I got pretty lucky because the scholar in my bunker gave me scouting, and as I was saying in previous videos, in Duel template, scouting is one of the most important skills to have. Basically, you can always get Earth Magic and Air Magic, those are the two most important skills, but after them it's scouting. It's even more important than logistics or offense or whatever you might think. So having scouting from the start is quite awesome. And having Master Gremlins in Goldmine is also excellent. I usually, when I play tower, I usually get gargoyles, and that's pretty hard because as playing tower, you basically need to flag at least one golem dwelling in week 1. It may seem weird why golems, because you don't usually use golems that fast, but the dwelling is special in a way that it's, as you can see, guarded by gold golems and diamond golems, and you can buy 4 types of golems there, not only stone golems and iron, but also diamond and gold. We will not be interested in diamond and gold golems, but the fact that you can buy stone and iron golems makes the dwelling twice as efficient. That means you can basically buy 12 golems per week, and if you flag the external dwelling on week 1 and you usually want to make some timing push on week 4, that means you can get 4 times 12, that's mean 48 golems from one dwelling. And you can see that I left my bunker very early. It's only 4th day. I mean, it's quite standard to leave your bunker in the 4th day, but I had enough moving points to flag the golem dwelling and even take the necro town. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough moving points to stay in the town, but that's okay. So in the first week, I'm going to flag 2nd golem dwelling, and that's excellent. So from this point, I'm 100% sure what my game plan will be. Obviously, playing against Conflux, and especially Conflux playing melee hero, I could be on the middle first. If I play this right, I could even hold the middle with golems. It's not only the timing push to get to the middle, but just stay there and hold there. But we will see who gets earlier there, who will be faster. Tower is one of the fastest factions to get to the middle. But as I was saying, it depends what do you want to play. As tower, you can always play a longer game, going to Titans, but it's very expensive and actually very hard to do because you need to kill a few utopias as soon as possible, and tower army is not so good against utopias, against the dragons, because you want to kill slower units with your chain and shoot them with magi and gremlins and so on. So playing late game as tower using Solmir is quite hard. Sometimes you can tell if a player wants to go Titans by just not choosing Solmir, but choosing, for example, Astral, or I even saw some players tried to play Piquedram, which is a gargoyle specialist, but he starts with scouting and he's alchemist, so he gets a little bit more of those fighting skills like attack and defense. But let's get back to the game. I got to the middle town in my biome, that means the main tower, let's call it the main town, quite early. It's only 6th day and I already got out, and there is a there is an Inferno town, but it doesn't have the fort. And remember, when you play against Conflux, you don't get your Conflux in your biome in the fixed position. It's switched because it's usually every town is in the fixed position, which you can learn, and you can always know which way to go to get to the Conflux. But when you play against Conflux, the towns are switched, and one of the towns doesn't have a fort and is the fortress. That means that the middle is not... I'm sorry, fortress. I meant Inferno. So just looking at the Inferno with no fort, I can tell that the middle is not Inferno. So, but I took it anyway, and there is a magic well, the great position for magic well, quite lucky I would say, because you can get only one magic well in your biome, and when it's somewhere in the corner you usually cannot use it at all, so this is a great position of mana well, and I hope I'm going to use it later. And with enough mana, I'm able to take the Crusader fight. This is, usually it would be a little bit harder of a fight, but with 2 chains, it's quite all right. So I guess I'm going to lose 2 gargoyles and 1 gremlin, that's okay, and it's an Arc Magi box, this is quite alright. What I don't like about playing tower in Duel is that the boxes of Magi are quite low in numbers. I mean, you get only few Magi, you get only 20 Magi or 15 Arc Magi, and that's like not a good number. For example, if you play Cove and the most important unit you want to have is a Stormbeard, you get 25 Stormbeard or 20 acids. That's like 5 more than Magi. I don't know why the game thinks Magi is that good. You get only 15 or 12 or 20. But it's okay. So it's my opponent's turn. He uses quite a lot of time. And that's quite weird because tim101 is a very good player and he doesn't usually have issues with timer. But I guess he's fighting some hard fights. Also, what is good playing tower is the building looking tower that reveals reveals a circle with diameter of 20 plexes to each side. I didn't need to build it because I flagged a looking tower on the way, as you could see, so that's just something you can use playing Duel. So that was a weird crypt. I'm not sure why I didn't just shoot the Walking Dead, but it's okay. It was the weakest crypt, so it was kind of waste of time to get there. That wasn't such a good turn. I'm not sure if I used all the traveling spells, because this day I haven't done much. I haven't done basically anything except killing a basic crypt that gave me nothing. So that was not good. That was not a good day. But I think the plan for the next day is to buy some Magi in the external dwelling, kill the Royal Griffins, get the box, then use Dimension Door to another box, maybe the Orc box or the Storm Elemental box, and hopefully we roll into Earth Magic or at least Expert Air. If I don't roll into Earth Magic soon, I will have to buy it from the Conflux, which is located on the other side than the Inferno, I guess. So the Midtown obviously is Necropolis. I forgot to mention that. The Necropolis was the first town I picked, and it had the fort built in it, so you can always tell it's the Midtown. It's the town that will be in the middle, and all the boxes will be Necro boxes. Usually players don't like Necro middle that much because it lowers your morale, but it's actually really good, really strong middle. You can get a high number of dragons, and those are very powerful, especially with the H specialty, and also Dread Knights, one of the strongest, maybe along with the Naga Queen, the strongest tier 6 units. So I rolled into Earth Magic, that is perfect, and I'm going to jump to the Storm box, because the Orc box, the Orcs also are guarding excuse me, lever for shrine, and I don't need the lever for shrine. I already got the chain lightning, and the only thing that would make me a little bit happy is berserk, but I just don't need it right now. It would slow me down. So I took this box. It was only gargoyle box. That's not very useful, but at least the Royal Griffin box was golem box. This is really good. 35 golems, that's something I'm interested in. And the next day, maybe the magic elementals are quite strong. They are fast, and I cannot use any offensive spells. But in this east direction, there is also gold golems guarding another box and a lamp, a genie lamp. I would love to buy some master genies, and there is a ogre crown +4 knowledge that could be also useful, but it's nothing that there is nothing nearby, so maybe it's a little bit of waste of movement to get just to the crown. I already have enough knowledge to use all my traveling spells. Of course, it's always nice to have more, but I think I will not get there, at least not now. So let's try to kill the magic elementals. It would be quite hard. Well, yeah, teleport is much needed. The magic elementals are obviously smart enough to not get into the range of golems, but I just teleported. There is no other good spell that I could use anyway. And only one magic elemental attacked my master gremlin, so the outcome is very good. And another 20 magi. That's fine. Let's kill the gold golems. I get some XP. Hopefully I get advanced earth, which allows me to select a town I want to teleport in, and then we'll see what other boxes are there. So playing tower, it's also nice if you get a rich biome. So it's always nice when you can get a decent master gremlin stack. I'm sorry, master genie. I'm thinking ahead. Those are gremlins. Actually, gremlin box is not so bad. It's actually more useful than the gargoyle box, I would say. So eventually I picked the +4 crown, which I don't think it was such a bad idea. I don't think it was a good idea. I think I should have teleported to the Medusa Queen box. This was unnecessary. +4 knowledge, I don't need that much right now. It would be better for me to get a bigger army and rush to middle. But I didn't do it. Mistakes were made, so let's see what's next. I don't think I will get a decent power stack of Master Genie, because it's 1 to 4 and I have only few. When you want to play Master Genie, you have to obviously double build genies in both of your towns, and you need to get a lot of lamps and some dwellings. But the lamps are the fastest way to get a genie power stack. Of course, it costs a lot of money, so using Master Genie as a power stack and not so common playing as a tower. Master Genies are fragile. They can deal a lot of damage when you have like 40, and obviously you can find a genie box. Your biome should have at least one genie box. I mean, it's not guaranteed, it doesn't have to, but usually it does, at least one. So, relic artifact, Sandals of Saint, not so bad. Not so bad. Each biome, I believe, contains 4 relics. Is that 4? Sandals are okay. Obviously, you can get lucky. You can get like Sword of Judgment or Book of Air, but sandals are acceptable. Sometimes you get some bullshit like the Orb of Water or something that you don't use in the early stages. So I captured the Conflux town, but I don't need it. I already rolled into all the necessary magic schools. Yeah, I guess teleport home. Upgrade golems, well, okay, I can do it. I might just as well do it right now. But I don't have enough resources for the genie buildings. Above the Conflux town, there are 2 lamps. Next to the Necro, there are 2 external dwellings for genies and also a lamp. There are a few nice things, but the time is short and I don't think I have the time to pick it all. I'm not sure why I even flagged the giant dwelling when I don't intend to build giants. But I guess I had a few moving points left. I didn't want to TP home, I just wanted to capture the Conflux town anyway, so... well... So I think I'm going to ignore the genie dwellings. There is just not enough time for it. But I'm going to pick some additional boxes. Having 260 master genies looks nice right now, but they are quite useless in later stages. 1 Utopia and they are all dead. So as you can see in my army, it's quite difficult to get something beefy, something that is strong enough to survive against something like dragons. Or I can build up to 100 golems. That's nice, and that's very nice to the final battle. And I have 60 magi. This is also okay, but it's still not such a high number. Like, it doesn't one-shot even those nomads, so they don't deal enough damage. This is what I'm trying to say. Okay, this was Master Genie box. That's fine. That's good. I have 13k of gold. Maybe if I get a little bit of crystals, I could build the genies. But I think the best players could break out like now in 127. But looking at my army, I could break out even I could break out some weaker units. Something like, oh my god, additional gargoyles, okay. Something like hydras, nagas, something slower. But you know, just dealing with some flying fast units or even shooting units, that's like too hard, I think. So Nagabank, okay. Not sure why I'm taking this right now. But I guess I wanted to the box that gave me 40 gargoyles, but 40 gargoyles are almost useless anyway, so, well, I'm not sure it was the right decision to just go there. I think I think it would be better for me to go to the Inferno, take the 2 boxes above the Inferno. Those are probably very weak, but it would at least provide some meat, and then try to break on the upper side, on the north side. Well, here it's nice that I got the Naga Bank. I got 2 genie lamps. That's okay. So almost 30 genies. Well, they are not bad. I mean, they are great, but you need to have like 40 at least. Like 30 genies are not enough. And there are devils on the break. This is not a good break, I believe. Well, the devils are quite low in HP, so one thing is very good against devils, and that's chain. But you can chain them like first round only, because they are obviously very fast, and the second round they just block your shooters and so on. And of course, if there are some archdevils, then oh my god, then you're in very, very bad position, because archdevils even gave you archdevils give you -2 luck. This is something then that changed in HOTA. If you played the original Heroes of Might and Magic 3, then archdevils gave only -1, but in HOTA they give -2, and having -2 luck in such an important battle could be very bad. You just, if your power stack gets minus luck, then it's quite difficult. So, well, that's nice. That's nice. Second box of genies, and that's very, very nice. And with 43 genies, I'm starting to like it. Oh, golem box, that's nice. I just have to dismiss the Gargs, and I'm going to break through Dread Knights. I actually think that breaking through devils might be easier by this point, because the devils would definitely have less HP. If you count the Dread Knights, they are like 4 times 14, and they have 120 hit points. They get to the end of the battlefield in 2 rounds anyway, so you know, it's not that good of a break. It seems like, okay, they are not flying, not shooting units, but they are quite hard to beat. So I don't think it was such a good decision from me to try to break out to the Black Knights, to be precise. So, you know, as you can see, it's a hard fight. I'm bleeding a lot of timer right now. It takes a lot of time. Fortunately, they attack mostly the Gargs and few golems. I can lose few golems. I have so many dwellings that it's totally fine to lose few golems. But you know, 12 magi and also few master genies, and then I had to teleport home anyway. This is not a good situation. Like, break 131 is good. In previous videos, I told you that if you consistently break 131, then you're a good player. But it depends on which faction do you play. Like with Castle or Fortress, you obviously don't need to break 131. Even the best players in the world doesn't need to break that soon, because you build units at home. But playing the faster factions like Necro, Conflux, and Tower, and Rampart at first place, breaking 131 is like, well, okay, but it's not the fastest. And as you can see, I checked the tavern, and my opponent already have quite a high amount of stats. So he probably got turbo. He probably didn't build two magic elementals, which he could. Just not playing Moner doesn't mean that you cannot build 2 magic elementals, because the Moner speciality is actually not that strong. He gives only +3 attack, +3 defense skill, and it's naturally not that impactful. The specialty to fire elementals is much more impactful. So you can play Fear and go magic elementals, but he has such a high stats that means only 2 things could happen. Either he got lucky with his artifact in the biome, or he cleared the Utopia in the biome, or he already broke out. So I guess he doesn't build 2 magic elementals. Of course, if he got lucky with artifacts in the biome, he could have built. I cannot be sure, but you know, that's what I'm trying to say, that it's the most probable thing. So I think my army is really good. Like, I'm a little bit slower. Oh, I accidentally moved my master grammins instead of shooting, and that hurt a little bit. Okay, the the frost ring didn't do anything, and I'm going to get beaten by those knights. Oh my god, that hurts a little bit, but okay. These fights, but okay. Well, I have the necklace plus free to all. I can get to the Book of Air. That is not so important for me because I already got chain, but I don't have protection from air, so obviously if the first round of the battle we both protect from air, I mean, if the first round I cast chain and then he protects, then I need to protect too, so the Book of Air is actually quite useful. But I think my army is a little bit stronger than usual. Well, when you see other players playing tower and rushing the mid, they could break out like 1-7, like than they earlier, but they have less army. Because not only I have decent golem stack, but I also have decent master grammins stack, and I had quite a few of the shooters like Magi and master grammins. So the army is quite good. I'm happy with this army. What I'm not happy is that my tempo is a little bit slower. Because I think one of the bigger mistakes I made was that I broke to the Black Knights, because then I needed to teleport back home and it's like back to square one. I had to spend all day just to get to the side of my biome again, and it's not very useful. If I had broken through the devils, well, maybe I could just go to the town, sleep in the town, replenish my mana, and I would be in a slightly better position. Well, but it is what it is. Mistakes were made. The game is not so terrible. I mean, it's okay game. It's quite a good game. Breaking 1-3-1 with a decent army is still a fine result. So the Nyx warriors are kinda beefy, and Solmir with such a low attack skill is just, you know... I lost additional 2 Master Genie, which I'm not happy about. But there are 2 very important items for me. One is obviously the Titan's Koiras, plus 10 spell power. And the second is Orb of Air. And if I get those 2 items, then I'm almost ready to push my opponent. Obviously, I have to retain speed priority. What my opponent can do, he could get like Ghost Dragon box, and with 14 speed he would start the battle, he would cast protection from air, and my spell power would be almost useless. So that's a really important thing to realize who has the speed priority. Oh my god, there are Archdevils. The second thing is I need the fighting stance too, and that's what the Sword of Judgment is for. So I'm happy that those important items are there, but those devils are killing me, man. Like Archdevils, so many Archdevils, and then the morals. Jesus. Oh my god, how many times? Can you believe it? Because I don't. Well, this was a quite difficult fight, and I'm running out of time, so I haven't been able to take the... Oh my god, I haven't been able to take the town in the treasury zone. That's bad. I don't think I should have gone there that early. I should have kept the Sword of Judgment for later, and I should have just picked the town, sleep in the town, and get there later. This was a bad decision. That was a bad movement decision. And it's quite impactful. I will lose another day just to get to the treasure, to the mid treasury zone. That's bad. I mean, I'm happy that I rolled into diplomacy, and I'm starting to get all the important artifacts so soon. but that was not a good play. The last day was pretty bad. But at least with this post-game commentary, we can just look at the game and see it how it impacts the game, because when you're playing live, you maybe not realize the mistakes you made. You realize them later when the game is over, and you cannot tell it to your audience if you make videos or stream. So looking at this game, it's quite clear that just picking up the town in the treasure zone is really important. Okay, so I'm going to pick another, but I accidentally have chosen the wrong town first, so I TP'd into wrong town and I lost 200 moving points, and then the mighty gorgons had moral, so okay. Expert water can be useful. Full Cyclops. Okay. One thing was good actually. When I picked up the Sword of Judgment, guarding by the devils, there was a scholar, and he taught me meteor shower. And usually the book of Earth is not that important in this template, because actually you have TP scroll from the beginning, you cannot get resurrection, and you cannot get implo. Those spells are not allowed in Duel. So basically the only thing you can use Book of Earth for is Meteor Shower. But since I got it from the scholar, I don't need to look for the meteor, for the Earth box. So sometimes it's a good twist in battle when you play a strong caster like Solmir is, and you and your opponent both protect from air. Then you can still cast some offensive spell like the Meteor Shower. Sometimes it's even very surprising when you get the Orb of Earth. That is not so commonly used artifact. But if you just surprise your opponent with strong Meteor Shower, you maybe force him to waste a cast and to cast Protect from Earth. Obviously then you have to have an additional plan, like you cannot cast Chain, you cannot cast Meteor, so you can cast something else. Maybe it would be nice for me to get Book of Water, because I'm going to be using golems a lot. The golem will be my power stack, so just prayer on golems is very useful. Golems are slow, so you get +4 speed, you get some attack and defense, so really important skill. I guess by now you already noticed that in Duel template there are no haste and slow spells, so prayer is the only spell that can manipulate with speed. You cannot increase your speed by haste, and you cannot slow your opponent by casting slow. Maybe the exception is if you assemble the Iron Fist of the Ogre artifact that is used in the later stages of the game, and the artifact automatically casts mass haste in the beginning of the battle. Of course, there is additional assembled artifact. I'm not sure how is it called, what it's called, but it casts mass slow in the beginning of every fight, but I didn't see it being used very much. I don't think I've ever assembled it, nor did I see that my opponent assembled it, because it's from low tier artifacts that gives you only like +3 defense, +3 attack, just a low amount of the power ups. So it could be nice that you cast mass slow in the beginning and mass weakness, but just having higher stats is usually better. So it's my turn, but I haven't clicked it yet. I did it now, okay. My opponent is controlling the middle. He was clearing the Utopia at my side. This is not very fortunate for me. But I guess he plays really good and he got a good tempo, and he just, so far he's outplaying me, I think. I think movement wise I made a mistake that was quite unnecessary. You know, just not picking the town. So bad, so bad. I should have left the Sword of Judgment for one day later. But at least I have the Book of Water, as I was talking about, so I could mass prayer. There are 2 books of Earth. I don't need single one. And oh my god, I did use blind TP. And those are Archdevils, so you know, one of the worst and toughest opponents, Archdevils. I'm not sure why I casted summon air elementals. I guess I hoped that the Archdevils will attack the elementals, but they didn't. So I got like nothing. I got artifacts that I won't use. It was just a blind TP, and I've lost a lot of army. So that was quite unfortunate. I just didn't look properly. I didn't see those are Archdevils. I just wanted to move and discover some new area, and that was, you know, quite unfortunate. So it's 136, and it's quite clear that I will make a timing push in the 4th week, hopefully in the beginning of 4th week. I will need a lot of gold, so I will have to get at least 1 Utopia. You can see 2 Utopias on the screen. I wasn't very eager to get to the Utopias because I was saying my army is quite fragile in Utopia. I already lost all the Master Gremlins and almost all the Magi. This is, I mean, ridiculous. But in the Utopia I could lose even some Master Genies. I guess at least I have the gargoyles, so the dragons will obviously focus the gargoyles first. But let's see. It would be nice to get a lion shield +4 to all stats. That would be really nice. And oh my god, I don't have enough mana. I'm quite low on mana. This is something I need to watch very carefully. Because in the beginning of each round you need to have mana for fly and 2-dimension door, and hopefully even, oh my god, and hopefully even town portal back home. This was terrible. Those trolls focused the, oh my god, and morals -5 Master Genie. Oh my god, Jesus, why? What a bad round. Oh my god. So this is, I mean, terrible. I'm just losing all my army. I wonder why I have chosen this video to show you, because the biome session was alright, but this is not okay. So I have to like go back home. I got the orb, that's nice. I needed the orb. This fight is maybe for the experience only. I get a level 5 spell in the pyramid, but I cannot use many spells. I need to have 12 mana for TP back home. Hopefully the iron golems can do it. Okay, no losses. That was nice. Fly, well, they taught me fly. This is useless. I was basically the only spell that I don't have and I maybe would like is sacrifice, but actually no, actually not even sacrifice. Since my power stack will be golems, you cannot resurrect golems, you cannot sacrifice golems, so sacrifice is not useful for me right now. I cannot get Diplo, I cannot get any other summon than air. There are only summon air elementals. I already have fly and dimension door from the Book of Air, so there is no level 5 spell that would make me happy. So it's 137. Well, I need some gold. I didn't kill any utopias, and the lion shield would be nice addition for me. I only have the +7 shield. That's not the best thing. Really not the best thing. So I'm getting quite a bit nervous. It's the 7th day. I built both of the genie buildings. Maybe I can get at least few genies. I even opted to build the necro because I'm hoping I will take over the necro in the middle, and I'm not sure how my opponent will react to this. He might force a fight and the game will end, or he might just play in his biome or side treasure for a while. So it would be nice for me to get ready for building up the both of the necro towns, so I can catch up in the Ghost Dragon and Red Knight power stacks. So interestingly placed oasis. There is one oasis in all of the mid zone. And oasis, besides +1 morals, gives you +800 moving points, and this is really nice. 800 is a lot, so if there's some fights nearby the oasis, you can usually abuse them, like get to the fight, get to the oasis, get to the fight, get to the oasis, and if the distance is shorter than the oasis gives you, then you actually gaining moving points. But this is not the case. The oasis is just near the castle town, and I'm going to sleep over in the necro for the time being, because the next day is 141, and this is the day I'm going to buy all the golems. But I'm not sure I have enough gold for this. I still haven't killed a single utopia. This is bad. The stats difference are quite high. He got like 15 more defense, 10 more attack. The spell power is similar, knowledge also, but the fighting stats, the difference is too high right now. The advantage of the player who controls the mid is not only the boxes, but also the power-up buildings like Colosseum areas and libraries. I believe there are 4 libraries in the mid treasure zone, so it's like 4 times +2 to each of the primary skill, and that's quite a lot. So at this point I need to get some gold, and I need to buy as much army as I can, and then I could just try to attack the middle, and hopefully it will be enough. So I have some resources that I can trade. It will be enough for those 2 dwellings, and as you can see I already have almost 250 golems, and I risk it. I hoped that this Pandora box will be golems, but it wasn't. It was only Gargs, so that was useful, but useless. But I think I needed to end this turn in town anyway, so you know, that's like I wouldn't use the movement anyway, I think. Well, I could use it. As you can see, I just attacked some hydras. There is a +2 spell power and knowledge artifact, so at least something. Okay, the hydras are easy, but still I need to use some spells, so okay. Well, and I ran out of time, so that was not exactly what I hoped for. I think if I didn't go for that Pandora box, I would have enough movement to go to the road and to attack next day in 1-4-3. But right now I didn't end my turn in the town, so that means I won't have full mana and I'm not close enough to the middle to reach it in the next day, so it's like lose-lose situation. Damn it. As I'm going through this game, I have to say the biome part, the first 2 weeks were kinda well played, but this part is not so well played. It's like I got lucky for the artifacts, and the movement in the treasury after the break was really not so good. But you know, it is enough to make a strong attack, I would say. So I picked up the artifact +2/+2 and I visited the Colosseum, +2 spell power, and since I know I won't be reaching mid in this turn, I might as well not go on the road, and I go to the side. And there is one benefit to it. I found the library, and library gave me +2 to every skill, and also this artifact -2 luck is not so bad. It's definitely better than +1 morals. I don't need morals basically at all. Golems cannot get morals anyway, so the morals is useless. It might be useful maybe later if I get Necro Army, but no, I would say that Tower and Conflux don't get much issues with morals, combining army with Necro, because Elementals and Golems cannot get morale, and it would be impactful only if I build Titans or something. Then I would definitely don't want my Titans to miss morale. But since the Conflux player will most definitely use fire elementals, and since I'm using golems, then we don't care about morals. But the -2 luck is a good item, definitely. Maybe one little advantage for me is since I didn't use the road and I go to the side, I think there is a slight chance that my opponent doesn't see me. Obviously he should use view air every turn, as I'm using it every time I might get in danger, but he don't see my army, so it's like he knows I'm there, but he cannot be sure whether I'm planning to attack or whether I'm just picking up things. And if he correctly presumed I'm going to attack, it was kinda obvious from the movement and from the time in the game. Like fourth week, Solmir is approaching him. It's most definitely timing attack with golems. But if he didn't see me, he couldn't be sure how many golems, because I think my golem count is quite high. So he gave up the town and he let me have it for free. And that's interesting. That's a good sign, because that means he wasn't sure about fighting me. I guess he didn't have enough army, because his stats were significantly higher. Even though I found the library, it still wasn't enough. And there is a citadel, so I mean, I really don't know what his army is, but I think he would have a bigger chance of defending this town if he could build a castle than attacking later, because I don't think he could just let me have the middle the rest of the game. He will have to just regroup, gather some forces and go back. because he, as you can see, he spent some time getting the dwellings, and there are a lot of dwellings and they are all empty. So I guess he either he flagged them this week or he had to visit them twice, and that's interesting. So he bought all the dwellings, but that means he probably don't want to just leave the whole mid area to me. That would make no sense if he just got the dwellings and then let me have it. That means he doesn't have any backup plan, like what he can do now. Like definitely not just go to the side treasury zone and build some other army from scratch, from zero. That makes no sense. So he has to continue with Conflux and an Necro army, and that means only one thing: he must not let me have this mid zone for I don't know, for a few weeks. So I'm not sure if I think I want to take the dwellings back from him, because I really don't know how big his army is, and he definitely has some build in his biome. So he had built maybe even the dragons in his home. So every dwelling he has will increase his growth. So I need to take all the dwellings he has and hopefully try to level up the stats, the fighting stats at least. Get some defense. That would be nice, because his attack is scary and he has expert offense, that's for sure. Few starts with offense, so his attack is quite strong, and that's scary, because even the golems can die eventually. So wow, there are a lot of dwellings. He had so many dwellings. Wow, that's interesting. You can see like 4 dwellings for Black Knights on one screen, and I'm going to take them back. I'm going to steal them all. Oh, this picket, this cyclop bank, or how to call it, is empty. So that was not a good idea to go there, but okay. I saw via View Air that he is not nearby, so I'm safe to sleep outside, and I'm definitely going to take the library, and I need to find a Lion Shield. That would help me so much. Lion Shield gives +4 to all the stats, and I have only shield that gives me +7 defense. So Lion Shield, definitely need to find it if I can. Assembling Elixir of Life is not so important for me. Actually, it's not important at all, I would say, and the same goes for him. Elixir is usually very important, but Necro units and Golems cannot benefit from Elixir. Elixir helps only living units, so Necro and Golems are not living, so that means Elixir is useless. So we can maybe use the spots. Oh, he's nearby. He's going to attack next turn, probably. So is there something I could take this turn? Definitely, I don't see any Lion Shield here. So maybe just spend the movement by buying army. I don't have enough gold. Damn it! I still didn't kill any Utopia, so that's not so good. But at least I build a castle here. Upgrade Hall of Darkness. Well, that's like the only choice. 8 Dread Knights are not so much. I have the Ring of Vitality. Well, instead of Ring of Life, I can use the slot on arm to something like the ring that gives +1 speed, Ring of Wayfarer. But I don't see any. So my stats are still not ideal. This is not ideal, but he's attacking now, so it's 147. I guess he don't want to wait for another week, but that's okay, because I picked up all the dwellings, so yeah, that makes sense. Oh, that's interesting. He had one Firebird for speed priority, and the Firebird dies to all the towers. So I'm going to start the battle, and I can cast Chain, and that's funny. That's really funny. But look at his stats, that they are so high. Even spell power is higher. It's like he has 13 more attack, and he has expert offense. He has 3 more defense. That's almost the same. That's okay. The funny thing is that our chain lighting did the same damage, almost exactly the same, and he has 7 spell power more. So that's the specialty working. But I don't think it was very wise from him to cast Chain, because I don't really care about the genies and the other units. I care only about the Iron Golems, and he cannot kill them with spells, so okay. But he correctly presumed he would start the second round, so obviously he protects from air. But still, I have very powerful Meteor Shower, so I think I'm going to use that. And he had 50 Dread Knights. That was really nice for first week. I think that's the most of tier 6 unit I have ever seen in that stage of the game. Like that number of Dread Knights is really impressive. So many Dread Knights, that's awesome. The sad thing is that Dread Knights cannot fly, so he will eventually have to spend a cast to teleport them. And obviously he cannot teleport Dread Knights and Earth Elementals at the same time. He can only fly with the energy and teleport the Dread Knights. That's why I'm protecting the Iron Golems in the corner, so only one unit can attack them at the time. And I don't need to protect from air, because if he wanted to kill my Dread Knights with Chain, I placed them in such position that the Chain would bounce to his own units. Obviously, he don't need to care much about bouncing of the Chain because he protected from air, but still it's a waste of cast to just kill 8 Dread Knights. Definitely any Chain won't happen from him. So I think Meteor Shower to Dread Knights is the best cast. Maybe I could, if I Meteor Shower the Magma Elementals, it would do twice as much damage. Earth Elementals and Magma gets twice as damage, so I would almost kill them all. But I don't fear the Magma. I will kill them eventually with something else. But the Dread Knights are just too dangerous. And look at this. I showed him the power of the Meteor Shower, so he cannot teleport right away. He has to first spend a round to cast protection from Earth. So that's good for me because I just earned 1 round, and well, the towers do some damage, that's okay, but then next round I can cast something else, like maybe Ice Bolt. This is still one last thing I haven't casted. And iron golems did decent damage, 1000 to energy elementals. That's surprising. Because he has this specialty for energy, and still the damage was very nice. And ice bolt, very nice damage. I think that was really unexpected to do so much damage with just ice bolt. But I believe that's why I equipped the Orb of Water, and it came very handy. The ice ball damage is devastating. That's the same amount as the meteor shower. So basically, if he knew that, he wouldn't protect from Earth, because that makes no sense to protect from Earth if he knew that I could do the same amount of damage by just casting ice bolt. And in case you didn't know, in Duel template you cannot protect from water. It's on purpose, so the water magic has some value, and so it's not possible to just protect from every magic and to not be harmed by any magic. So one magic school doesn't have protection, and that's water. So I can just kill all the units by ice bolting over and over again. And as you can see, he desperately chained. That makes no sense, because the chain did almost nothing to the golems. And next round, okay, meteor shower to magma, not so good. Yeah, ice bolt, way better. So I could either finish the Dread Knights, but I rather weaken the magma, because right now even teleporting doesn't make any sense. And the only option for him would be summon air, but since I have more mana and every air elemental has to be teleported over the walls, he would never win. Even he would have to have like twice the amount of mana, maybe even not that, because I believe I casted prayer, and that means I always start a round. If I kill the Dread Knights, I will have speed priority, and I will always start with chain to the air elemental or something like that. So it seems like this game is slowly coming to an end, and even though the last week of the game wasn't the best, actually it was pretty bad, it seems like the strategy that I've planned worked very well, especially when I was able to flag both of the golem dwellings on the first week, and 250 golems on the fourth week are just too much. So I think, I'm not sure what his army was before I captured this town, but I think his chances would be way higher if he just defended, because I would be the one who has to teleport over the walls, or even if I decided to only cast, I would get damage from towers and so on. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.